As I continue this exclusive interview with Tupac's biological brother, Billy Garland Jr., the question is, if the security guard at Bellevue Hospital told Billy Garland Sr. that Tupac's real father was dead when Billy Garland Sr. showed up to the hospital to see his son after he was shot in New York, then who came and told the security guard that Billy Garland Sr. was actually Tupac's biological father so that he could be led into the hospital to see his son? Yeah, let's get deep. Let's get into some more of this straight game.
Black chat. Life is like some cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Black chat. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Yeah, so I definitely understand what you were saying by that, but I think another thing that got Tupac mad was because when he went to jail, right? Knowing one thing about it, because remember he did the Vibe interview once he was in jail with the guy Kevin, and but once he went to jail, I think Biggie didn't go see him. He didn't go to see him, right?
Shit like that, right?
Right. So how do you what do you think? And but hold on, before I even go there, let me check this out. Before I even go there, when I talk to your pops, when I talked to your father, you and Tupac's father, when I talked to him, he told me about after he got shot, right? When he went to the hospital, right? What had happened in regards to that. He had told me that when he got there, he said that the security guard, when he walked up and he said he was Tupac's father, the security guard told him that Tupac's father was dead and how much that crushed him. You know what I mean?
Right.
What do you think about that? And he said Afeni or Tupac's auntie Gloria came out. I believe it was Afeni came out and said, no, that is Tupac's father. You can let him in. So with that monumental thing right there happening, and I'm sure you probably talked to your father about it. With that monumental thing right there happening, how does that make you feel? You know what I mean? Because that was a real big part of what it was. But I will be honest. Right. The father did say that Biggie came to the hospital.
Yeah. My dad always told me that story. He told me how he met Biggie, how Biggie walked up to him. That's what he said. He said Biggie walked up to him and introduced himself and, just gave him the whole thing of how he feels bad and sorry about, Pac being, laid up and shit, shot. So because of that, my old man has the feeling that Biggie didn't have anything to do with, for that reason. You know what I'm saying?
And that would be totally understandable. And that was what I was going to ask you next. I was like, would that be the reason? Because like I said, a lot of people have tried to paint Biggie, because I guess somebody has to be the villain, if you will. And like Tupac had to be the villain in the hotel room involving the girl. Biggie was the more known person other than Puffy, and he was the artist coming out. And from what Tupac had was in regard to his feelings about some of the stuff, right? So Biggie had to be the villain. So is that the reason why you feel like that he didn't have, from talking to your father, is that the reason why you feel like he didn't have anything to do with that?
I mean, it could be. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it past nobody. Shit, you got psychopaths that'll kill a motherfucker and then smile in somebody's face, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
In the next second. So, I don't put it past nobody. It's just too much bullshit that went on to make me believe, okay, like I said, yeah, maybe Biggie didn't have anything to do with Pac getting shot directly, right?
Right.
But you wasn't a friend either, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't a friend like you was putting on.
Right.
The way Pac felt that y'all was, you know what I'm saying? That y'all was close enough.
He didn't go to see him.
Just like you just said, he ain't even go see him in jail.
Right.
He didn't even write him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even write him. He didn't even go see him. And then not only that, I always point to the biggest shit it's like, it just doesn't make sense, bro. If that was if my boy just got shot, you're supposed to be my boy, and we ain't got no animosity with each other, no beef or nothing like that, and you get shot, you know what I'm saying? Not only do you get shot, but niggas don't even know who shot you really like that. Like, it's still a mystery type shit at this point. And I go ahead and drop who shot you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's mad suspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the optics of that don't even look, you know, bad timing, bad choice of words under the circumstances. And
of course, I'm sure that's through Puffy and the record labels, you know what I'm saying, as a business opportunity to jump on that, you know, because they know that shit's gonna go fucking viral, you know what I'm saying? Before viral was even viral, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the optics don't look good. You know what I'm saying?
It just didn't look good.
Right, just on a street level. Y'all niggas talking like y'all on some street shit.
Right.
On some street level shit that doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? This supposed to be your man's. It's supposed to be your man's.
Right.
And you sitting up here dropping a song talking about some who shot you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you know, and dealing with the song Who Shot You, you know, you have a lot of people that came out, Little C's, Charlie Baltimore. It was a lot of people that came out that basically said, and you know, I partially believe what that is, that the song was done prior to Tupac being shot. But like I said, once again, back to your point, is that being I would say reckless enough to do that, understanding what Tupac and Biggie's relationship was, and dropping that, and it being so incendiary, in which it worked. Like you said, it worked, because the mystery was, you know, who shot you, separate the weak from the obsolete. You know what I mean? And the lyrics,
it left it in the air.
Yeah, it left it in the air as to what that really meant, though. And so so I, like I said, I go back to, you know, your pops and him coming to the hospital. And so that's the other thing that, you know, I think, do you think that Biggie was under some kind of pressure to not really say anything, you know, based on the dudes that was around, you know, like, you know, the guys that we understand that shot Tupac at the court?
Like there was some real heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, like some real gangsters behind the scenes. I've heard that before. And it's probably true. You know what I'm saying? It's probably true. And niggas probably put pressure on Big, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, but it was just a lot of bullshit that went on, you know. So like I'm saying, so that obviously feeds the fire. You know what I'm saying? That obviously pours fuel on the fire.
Because it's like you choosing sides. It's like you choosing sides. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't come see me. You got this fucking song out. You putting out interviews, the Vibe magazine interview, blatantly going against what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm lying or I'm exaggerating about what happened, you know what I'm saying? I absolutely believe everything Pac said about that night. How the nigga came up, he got shot, he came out the elevator, and now everybody looked at him all crazy and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was looking at him, you know. It's just a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a lot,
It's a lot, but you know, it's just not a good look. It's just not a good look.
Not a good look.
Especially you talking about that's your boy, you know. Y'all supposed to be.
No, that's true. That's true. So I just wanted to deal with that, like in its intricacies, because like I said, there's a lot of moving parts in regards to that. And like I said, so what I'm gonna ask you now is, ultimately, if Tupac and Biggie had lived, right, do you think that they would have been able to overcome the obstacles that were before them at that particular time, including the Faith Evans situation?
The Faith Evans,
I mean, you know, like because I was actually, like I say, I was with your brother that night. We were at the Hollywood Athletic Club when he met her. So a lot of people
I seen your video. I seen your video.
So a lot of people didn't know. People thought that Pac was capping when he did hit him up.
I never doubted it once.
Okay, so check this out. So do you think that if Tupac and Biggie had lived, would they had been able to squash their beef?
You know, that's a tough one to answer, because you want to say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
they're older and they're maybe more mature now and they let bygones be bygones type shit. But then when you really think about what was it over, you know what I'm saying? What was the beef about? And it wasn't just, the shit wasn't nothing to, you know, to sneeze about. It wasn't no minute small thing.
Right.
Like it was life and death.
Absolutely.
Situations that was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The whole shit with everybody know the story with Snoop being in New York and Biggie put an announcement on the radio and the next thing you know, Snoop shit gets shot up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, shit was going down back in them times, life and death situations.
Right.
So, you know, knowing me and how I am, that would be very hard to squash something with somebody that serious. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with life and death,
right.
Or your peoples, whatever, trying to cause me bodily harm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So it's you know, it's kind of hard to answer that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate, like I say, I appreciate your honesty and being candid about that, man. Will Garland Jr. in the house, in the building, hip hop, Monica name, 5 Faces. Look out for him. It's your boy DELRAY. Yeah, straight gang.